Hi everybody, Adam here. Welcome back to our Lego room. In today's video, excited to take a look at three awesome new instruction sets that I picked up from Brick Train Depot. We have the Thrall 72-foot opera window center beam flat car, the Trenton Works 62-foot bulkhead flat car, and the Trinity 5161 covered hopper. All three of these instruction sets were designed and put together by Bricktail Studios. Big fan of their design work as well as just Brick Train Depot's work in general. We have a large number of their instruction sets. We've been building quite a few of their models and always an excellent experience. So let's dive in and take a closer look at each of these cool models. Now, first up, we have the Thrall 72-foot opera window center beam flat car. Looks like it's going to require 895 parts. The part number there can change a little bit based on whether you want to go with the magnetic couplers or the KD couplers from Brick Model Railroader. I will probably go with the KD couplers, but we'll see as we get the parts together for this and put it together which way it makes sense to go. In my initial pricing of this on Bricklink using Canadian prices, looks like this is going to be roughly $164 plus whatever it takes for the shipping of those parts to get here. Not too bad. It's the most expensive out of the three train cars, but pretty reasonable all around, and it doesn't seem like any of the parts are too rare or difficult to come by, which is always a bonus. Now, in terms of the specific details about this train car, I really appreciate that Brick Train Depot includes a little sort of history blurb on all of their different car models that they sell, both the train cars and the locomotives. So they say that this particular center beam flat car specifically designed for hauling lumber and wallboard. The earliest model center beam flat cars to hit North American rails in the 1980s featured oval-shaped opera windows cut out of the central partition beam to maintain strength while reducing overall weight. And I think it's really cool to see the work that they've done here in recreating that very iconic and noteworthy part of this train car. Really cool to see. Now, with this particular model, I've gone with the Union Pacific version of it. So we've got the brown color here. They do have a few different railroads that they support for each of these. Looking forward to getting the decals for this particular train car. And I just think it's going to be, a really cool, distinct looking train car to have around the layout. And I have to say, really appreciate the Lego environment that they display the train cars in here. Definitely gives some cool ideas for, some different areas that we could add to the layout here and different ways that we could potentially display this train car when it is finished. But, I think a really cool train car overall, and looking forward to getting this built and added into our collection. Also really cool, I think, to sort of dig into a bit more some of the potential loads that we could build for this, and have not only, being transported by this particular train car, but that we could have staged at appropriate buildings around the layout as well. Next up, we have the Trenton Works 62-foot bulkhead flat car. This particular model looks like it's going to be about 578 parts, and on Bricklink, It's pricing out at about $79 Canadian plus whatever the shipping is for the parts that I order. Again, very reasonable, part requirements. Pretty happy with the pricing on this train car and the ease with which it looks like we'll be able to pick up the required parts for it. Again, some really interesting details on the Flatcar. Really like the detail work that they've done on the end caps here. Really, really nice work. And in terms of the history for this particular train car, it says built originally by Greenbrier in 1997 and then by Nova Scotia-based freight car manufacturer Trenton Works in 2000. These bulkhead flat cars are prolific on modern North American railroads. These flat cars are designed with bulkheads on either end to protect against their large, heavy, and/or bulky loads shifting or sliding past the ends of the car. They commonly carry things like pipes, logs, lumber, steel, beams, plates, and machinery, wallboard, and other large building materials. So really, really cool. Again, some really interesting different loads that I think we could put together to have both on the flat car itself or around buildings that it might drop off at or pick up from around the layout. So some really interesting potential there, I think. And again, I went with the Union Pacific sort of specific decals and design in mind here. And I think that this will be another great addition to the layout. And then last but not least, we have the Trinity 5161 covered hopper. This cool looking train car is going to take roughly 893 parts. And it looks like in my initial pricing, it'll be about $117 Canadian plus whatever the shipping costs are for the parts. So again, not bad, kind of falls in the middle of the other two train cars. This train car, again, I went with the Union Pacific design decals for it. They do have, I believe, a Canadian Pacific version for this, which did catch my eye, and maybe we will go back later and pick up some additional decals for that and, to build that out. I'm a big fan of grain and sort of farm-related train cars in general. I think this is going to be a great addition to our collection, but we've got a number of hoppers and various, sort of farm good transportation cars that are in our backlog to build. And I think this will be a great addition to that lineup. In terms of the history that they highlight for this particular train car on the product page, it says, in 1995, Trinity Industries began manufacturing a new modern 3-bay covered grain hopper based on lessons learned from the various freight car manufacturers it had acquired at the end of the previous decade. The car was designed primarily for grain service, but can be used for hauling things like sugar, dry chemicals, or other dry bulk goods. It features a capacity of 5,161 cubic feet and 3 gravity-fed outlet chutes for unloading. With the retirement of older hopper designs, the Trinity 5161 design has become one of the most prolific covered hoppers on American rails in the modern era. So really cool to kind of get some of the backstory on a number of these models. And, like I said, I think this is going to be a great addition to our layout and will be one of many sort of farm-related hauling train cars that I think will they'll all kind of go well together, and it'll be interesting to see some of the different designs and how they are similar and how they're different, representing sort of different different times and places throughout North America in terms of hauling grain and other goods. So looking forward to building this one. I think it will be a cool addition, and all of these are likely to, while I'll do sort of initial builds of them, I could definitely see building multiples of each of these and having some interesting train loads for our locomotives to pull around the layout. So overall, really excited about these new designs. I think that Bricktail Studios has done an amazing job with each of these designs, and really happy to be able to pick up some additional Brick Train Depot instruction sets. We will be looking at getting these parts ordered. We've got quite the backlog of builds, both train, Lego train related and otherwise, but we'll be working hard on clearing that backlog and looking forward to getting each of these built and into operation around our layout here in the Lego room. Now, if you have not checked out Brick Train Depot's website, highly recommend doing so. So many great locomotive, train car, and otherwise, instruction sets. They've even got great building instruction sets as well. Lots of cool stuff to see. I'll include a link below to their website. Highly recommend checking it out. And if you have not subscribed to our channel, please make sure to do so that you don't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. And that is it for now. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you again soon. Take care. Bye.